Hi there, this video is all about using Trello to manage personal and professional projects and tasks. I find Trello really useful in engaging in ongoing time management of those projects, particularly when it comes to managing those competing priorities and keeping track of various to-do lists. Let's have a look at my own personal time management board to highlight some of the features of Trello. So first, what I'd like to point out is the organization of this board. I've attempted to organize it by priorities. So columns represent various activities, both at work and at home. And within those columns, cards are organized based on priority. So looking to my work projects here, I've got various competing projects. I try to keep the most pressing or most relevant projects towards the top of that column. So you'll notice here there's a deadline representing it being due within the next 24 hours. When I am done with a particular project, like this one, I'm able to move it over to a column representing done. So I still have record of the things that I've done, but it's archived away. On the back of each card, I keep track of where I am at with the specific project. So I use the due date feature to set any deadlines for myself, which keeps track of those deadlines both at the back of the card and the front of the card, as you saw earlier. Through a power-up, I'm able to connect to my Google Drive account, which places specific Google Drive links directly onto the card so that I can quickly get back to the resources that I use on a regular basis for this project. Quite frequently, I use the checklist feature, and that's activated by selecting checklist and setting up, adding a checklist to the board. I use this quite a bit to just keep track of anything I might have otherwise written down on a post-it note, marking off what steps I have accomplished. Finally, I sometimes use the add comment feature to leave myself a little note. So you'll notice it's just my own personal activity on this board, and one of the things I've noted here are some of the relevant dates related to this particular project. One really neat power-up that I've made use of is called calendars. Calendars allows you to connect your due dates that you set on cards to your calendar through an iCal feed. So that when I set that due date, it connects to my calendar, in this case Fantastical, and leaves a note in my timetable indicating that that project has a due date associated with it. So I find this really helpful in leaving myself some breadcrumbs for when particular projects have associated due dates. I use this personal board on a daily basis to check in on my daily routine and to even get started on different tasks as I block off my time throughout the day. I can quickly return to the board to remind myself of the progress I had previously made the last time I was working on that project, and to remind what was next in terms of next steps, as well as to connect in with the resources quite quickly to link and get started with my work.